CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. New movement in the Epstein case as Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says he's looking to meet with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison on a sex crimes conviction. CBS's Aaron Navarro.
Maxwell's attorney said in a post today that they are in discussions with the federal government, said that Maxwell would, quote, testify truthfully, but had nothing else to add in that comment.
The judge in the Epstein case is now telling the government to submit more information before he can rule on unsealing grand jury transcripts. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
It appears that the administration is getting something of a grace period with the base right now, but they're getting a very clear message that that base wants to see these files released, if at all possible.
Well, some 70 million people are under heat alerts across the middle of the country right through Thursday. Skylar Moss manages a landscape business in Memphis, Tennessee.
I try to encourage my guys to take mini breaks they feel that they need, and if it's just like absurd, ridiculous, then we can move things around.
Opponents of the Florida Detention Center, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, have turned out to protest it.
What the government is calling a detention facility, we know to be a modern-day internment camp.
Overseas correspondent Elizabeth Palmer has a snapshot from Gaza, where starvation deaths are rising.
Gaza is hungry. Not just a vulnerable teen with a head injury who needs special supplements, but his mother and whole families, and even many of the medical staff just aren't getting adequate care. Victoria Rose is a surgeon who was working in Gaza until last month. I'm still in constant contact with many of my colleagues that I worked alongside in Gaza, those who are alive, and it's very difficult to listen to them tell me how hungry they are, how they've not been able to feed their children.
America's on-again, off-again relationship with the UN's cultural agency, UNESCO, is off again. CBS's Michael Wallace says it was a move expected from the administration.
Trump made the same move during his first term, but the Biden administration had the U.S. rejoin the agency in 2023. The White House says Trump believes UNESCO has an anti-Israel bias and supports woke, divisive cultural and social causes that are out of step with the common-sense policies Americans voted for in November.
The Army said today it spent $30 million on the festival and parade marking its 250th birthday. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 68 points. The S&P is down 5. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 64 degrees in Fairfield, California.